Hello, you're listening to Arts Talk Radio, and I'm Michael Hasted. We bring you regular news, reviews and interviews relating to all aspects of the arts in Holland, concentrating on events in Amsterdam, The Hague, Rotterdam and the surrounding areas.
Arts Talk Radio online. Features on the arts in English.
It's what you might call a special this week. Arts Talk has run away to join the circus. Now, I certainly wouldn't consider myself an expert or aficionado on circus, but I have seen a few in my time. I've seen the biggest, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey's, three-ring show at Madison Square Gardens in New York, and one of the smallest, Gifford's in England. And I remember when there were three huge travelling shows in the UK, all of which have now long since gone, as indeed has Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. I've also seen many of the leading European circuses, but I've never seen the biggest, and many would say the best. So I'm rectifying that situation, and I'm in The Hague, where I've been invited along to the dress rehearsal of TOTEM by the worldwide phenomenon that is Cirque du Soleil. There's still an hour or so to go, so I'm going to talk to a couple of the people who are responsible for the staging of the show.
My name is Frank Henselman. I'm the company manager here on TOTEM.
And I would imagine that's a fairly big job because it's a very big circus, isn't it?
It's a very big circus with a lot of monkeys. Yeah, I mean, the main responsibility is to make sure that the show happens every day, and sometimes twice a day. So basically, operationally running the show. But of course, you know, it's always teamwork. We have a total of 120 people on tour, 48 of them being artists. And the rest, a lot of technicians and other support staff, people in the kitchen, people in the office doing a lot of the logistics, taxation, immigration, visas, accounting. So yeah, there's a lot of people that contribute to putting the show on stage every night. And yeah, my role is to make sure that that happens. Everybody works together, and you know, things happen in a coordinated way. But it's also a fun job because, you know, no 2 days are the same, really, because there's so much variety in my day that it you know, makes it a lot of fun.
And I imagine quite a lot of it is working ahead, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, once we're set up here and the show's up and running, I almost forget about The Hague, and it's all about the future cities. So, you know, we're already working on, for example, the show schedule for Rio de Janeiro, which is happening January 2021.
You take all this to Rio?
We take, well, yes, basically yes. If we want to get into technical details, the actual tent stays in Europe, but we're moving into a different tent. But basically, yes, everything we have here, we will have in Rio, and before that in Sao Paulo, actually.
Because there are, how many Cirque du Soleils? There are about over 20, isn't it? 20, 25, 30?
Yeah, we have about 20 shows under the Cirque du Soleil brand, and then Blue Man Group, for example, is also part of Cirque du Soleil Entertainment Group and a few other shows as well, but under the Cirque name it's about 20, and 10 of them tour. The other 10 are fixed in one spot. So yeah, and then for our tour alone, I mean, we use 77 trucks to move everything from city to city. So it's a big logistical operation, plus all the staff that needs to travel, be lodged, have the right papers to be able to enter and work in every country.
That must be a nightmare.
It can be a nightmare, but
But surely you can, for when you're in Europe, you can do it all in one go. You don't have to do it every time you...
Oh, no, we do. Yes, yeah. Unfortunately, there's no European-wide visa that it will last us for 3 years for everywhere we go. So it's country by country.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the show, the Totem, that lasts 3 years, does it?
Totem is doing a 3-year European tour. Other tours, other shows have maybe done 2 years, but so yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah.
So we started about 2 years ago in Brussels, and we have another year left.
And it's always the same people, the same company contracted for 3 years?
More or less. I mean, we get people going in and out. Obviously, there's turnover, but yeah, basically, it's always the same group that travels from city to city, and that will also then move to South America.
It's unbelievable. They must go on planes. I mean, how many planes do they take?
It depends a little bit. Whenever we can, we travel by boat.
It's a long way to Rio.
It's a very long way to Rio. So between the final show in Europe, which will be in Prague, and the first show in Sao Paulo, there's a 6-week gap because we need time to ship everything across the Atlantic.
Do you ever lose anything?
Not so far. But when the show came out of Japan into Europe, we did use planes. It was 2 747s. Yeah, full.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I remember I had a friend who worked it was a clown with Ringling Brothers and Barnum Baileys, and their train was a mile long, kilometre and a half. I think they were still loading it up when they arrived at the next city.
Yeah, practically, yes.
What's the most difficult thing? Is it a physical thing, the equipment, or is it a logistical thing with paperwork and making arrangements?
Well, I mean, it's complicated, but we've been doing this for 35 years as a company, and we have a lot of support from people in our head office in Montreal, for example. So it's a big, well-oiled machine, and yes, I mean the days are long when we set up. It's usually about 3 weeks of non-stop work, doing the last week of shows in the last city, then tearing it down, loading it, moving it, setting it up again, the first week of shows in the new city.
So you open here tomorrow. How long have you been on the site now?
Here we had a bit of a break because we came from Gran Canaria by boat, which also took a little longer, so we were lucky to have a few days off in between. But we started here, what are we today, Wednesday? So a week ago on Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's intense, it's long days, you get tired, but we're used to that, you get into the rhythm. It's more, we have 120 people on tour, 120 different personalities, 28 different nationalities.
I would have thought more than that, actually. It's such a big place. I was expecting there was your own metro system or something, because it's a huge site.
It's a small village.
It doesn't sound a lot.
120 is the touring group, but then we hire about 200 people locally in every city as well. 100 to help us with the setup and teardown, and 100 during the city run, mainly for interaction with the public. Because
And what's your background? Are you a circus person?
No, my original background is in hotel management, actually. That's my degree. So I started here as food and beverage manager 18 years ago. Head of popcorn, basically. And kind of,
I'll look good on the CV.
Yeah. And, kind of got hooked in, different roles. So it's been really interesting.
Okay, thanks very much indeed for that.
Thank you.
My name is Johnny Kim. I'm from San Diego, California, and I'm the artistic director here at Totem.
Wow, that sounds an incredible job. So you have overall responsibility for how the show looks, basically?
Yes, in a nutshell, for sure. Yeah, I oversee the production quality with all the artists and my artistic team, and we help integrate new artists in, but also maintain the production value and integrity of the original concept, as well as transforming it and evolving it to where it also has some relevance in this day and age.
So the concept for this show is called Totem.
Correct.
And there are lots of different ones around. There's a Beatles one with a permanent one. There's a Cabinet of Curiosities. That's all decided from head office.
Correct. They hire different kinds of creation and show directors. So some shows may have the same. For example, the one that was written and directed for Totem, Robert Lepage, also did Ka's original concept. So sometimes they'll use the same directors to create new shows as well. And sometimes they'll just branch out and find different ones. But all of it gets workshopped for probably 2 to 3 years before it even comes into fruition. And that all happens in Montreal for the most part, yes.
And the basic designs for the show come from
Correct.
there.
Because within that basic design, that will then help construct how we're going to fabricate the stage, what we're going to need, and then they already have a visualization of what act may represent that part of either the concept or the story. So that gets storyboarded before even the casting process happens, if they already have a vision of what that may look like.
So it's almost like making a film, because it's such a big production spread over, I mean, there's so many different facets to it.
Yes, because even, let's say, they storyboard that for years and they have a foundation of a concept, and then they have this idea of innovative acts, and then we have to scour the world to find them. And so a casting call goes out and just goes to different parts of the world and different continents to find that, or even scours YouTube to find intricate and unique kind of skills and things to be able to match that kind of concept, as well as transcending the company as entertainment.
Because I think circus has changed a lot in the last 30 or 40 years. It used to be very much a family thing, where acts were handed down through a family. But now there are so many circus schools throughout the world that you could almost go into a school and ask them to create an act like whatever to fit in with a certain show you're planning.
That is correct, yes. And the National Circus School in Montreal is right across the road from the headquarters. So there is definitely an alliance and a connection there as far as looking at future talent for Cirque du Soleil shows, as well as for other companies out there. But that school has definitely created a lot of talent for some of our productions that exist now. So now we have shows that are catered towards more to children, and we've acquired Blue Man Group, and so there's a lot of different kinds of things, whether it's magic and illusionists that now are under the Cirque du Soleil umbrella. So it kind of fits all kinds of people's palettes. That's also separate from Cirque du Soleil traditional acrobatics per se, but as far as the main foundation of Cirque du Soleil, it is still circus-themed style shows.
Because I imagine an artist could make a career, could work a lifetime.
Absolutely, yes. Like I said, there are some artists here that have been here since the beginning of Totem, and prior to that, they were in previous shows and stayed for quite a long time. Because circus is in their blood and this is what they do. There are artists here that have been doing it for over 30 years, as far as from when they were a child. Maybe not with Cirque du Soleil, but from what they did as a family troupe, and then now branched out to other things with other disciplines, and the career can have a quite long lifespan.
Do any of the acts you have here, are there any old circus families here?
Families as a whole, no, but our roller skating duo, they definitely come from a family of circus as far as generations of different kinds of disciplines, and it kind of runs in the family as far as circus arts are concerned.
Because I think a lot of the acts, they used to be exclusively acts that were handed down through the generations. But I think there was this gap, because when I was a kid in England, there were a lot of these three big circuses, and they sort of died out in the 80s or 90s, and I think a lot of the acts sort of disappeared and gave up or got a day job, and corresponding with that was the influx of circus schools, and I think a lot of acrobats come from gymnastics, don't they?
Yes, so, they do come, whether it's a traditional style circus schools or circus families, or sport.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a mix of both, and a variety of all of those things. But what's interesting about what you say is that because of the circus schools, some of the disciplines that have been, I wouldn't say disappeared, but have been quite rare to find, are now coming up to the surface, to where people in this generation think it's new. For example, in our show we have carpet manipulation, and that is an old circus art form that has kind of been lost. So the fact that we have that in our show makes it new to some people, but also quite nostalgic for the older generation too, if they've seen something like that before. Roller skating duo is similar in that sense, that it's not very common to find in the world. So it's an older style kind of traditional act, but for some people they will come and they'll think that it's brand new.
But I think that's probably a lot to do with the way you present it.
Correct.
Because there's a uniformity to costumes, there is a continuity between acts. They don't just come on and do their turn and the next one comes on and does their turn. Yeah. And I think the thing that makes that originally made Cirque du Soleil maybe not unique, but one of its selling points was the fact that it didn't employ any animals at all, ever.
Correct. It's all about the human performance and that connection, which in a concept and or a story is so important, because that's what people come to when it comes to live theater, to have that kind of human connection. and the performance itself or the themes or the storyline will catch your emotions and make you feel something. But having that kind of human connection when you're in an intimate setting such as the big top makes it that much better. Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much indeed.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Arts Talk magazine provides the perfect companion to Arts Talk Radio, with reviews and previews in English of cultural events in Holland. Whatever your interest in the arts, our international team of writers will always provide something new and exciting to see online. That's Arts Talk Magazine, all one word, .nl. artstalkmagazine.nl.
Arts Talk Radio online.
Dames en heren, bienvenue au Cirque du Soleil.
I'm at the Cirque du Soleil in The Hague, where the dress rehearsal for TOTEM is about to get underway. But just before it does, I've come backstage to have a talk with some of the performers.
Hi, my name is Oyun Erden Senge, and I'm a contortionist at TOTEM, and I'm from Mongolia.
It's always fascinated me about contortionists. Do you actually learn to be a contortionist? Are you born a contortionist?
I actually did learn to be a contortionist, so I went to a contortion school. For sure, like it requires certain type of flexibility, but it's a lot of most of it is mostly trainings. Like anybody, because we start at a young age, like most people are flexible at that age. I started when I was 6 years old. So we had a lot of girls there. Of course, some girls were more naturally flexible and some are less, but you can still learn to do like all the skills and be also like, it's not just contortion. I do also hand balancing, so it's a mix with hand balancing and contortion. So hand balancing, that's like anybody can learn to do it if you have the training for it. Yeah.
I probably couldn't. Did you, when you started at 6, was this always with the plan to go into the circus, or are there other opportunities? I mean, is it useful in sport? Is there any?
Contortion is part of our traditional art in Mongolia, so it's a very popular thing. So that's why there are schools specifically for contortion. Like you learn to do contortion, which is pretty awesome. And so my mom, she saw my coach. My coach is a very famous contortionist in Mongolia. So she saw her like always on newspapers and on TV, and she was traveling around. So my mom thought it would be a cool thing to try for me because she saw that she was traveling a lot. So I auditioned, and luckily I got into her school. So now, yeah.
And when did you actually start performing in the circus?
So I started at 6, and then professional. I started contortion at 6, but professionally I started at 11 years old at Cirque du Soleil. Yeah, I did my first duo performance with my partner in Cirque du Soleil Alegria.
Which country was that in?
Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I did my first performance there. So I've been with the company for 15 years now.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And it must be quite a short life. I mean, you can't be doing a contortion when you're 50, can you? Or can you?
You can. It's just not
but
maybe
not quite so flexible.
Yeah, no, for sure. You can still contort, I think. You can still stretch and stuff, but of course, I don't think you can do this as in a professional level where you perform, many shows a week. No, but I know there are older contortionists. They're still 60 and still warm up, and they're still flexible and they still stretch. So this you can do more as a hobby later, but I think professionally you can go up to 40 years old, very high level, 35 to 40, depending on the body. Everybody's body is different, so some people have to stop, in their 20s, or some people can continue in their full 30s. So it depends on how your body is and also how you take care of your body. So it depends on a lot of things, and it's very individual, the age of career.
But it can't be good for your body. I mean, it must put dreadful strains on parts of the body which aren't designed to take strain.
I don't think it's bad for the body too. It's all my body is known, right? And I think as long as you take care of it well, and nowadays we learn a lot about different exercises and health benefits, all that. So as long as I think you eat healthy and because like I said, I'm not only just bending. I think if you're just bending and doing nothing else, then you don't have muscles, where I do a lot of strength stuff. So I think the strength and the flexibility balance each other. So I don't really have like aches, or I don't really have pain. And I try to do Pilates, and I think that helps a lot. So I think it's good to do, the parts where you stretch a lot, then maybe you can do a bit Pilates and, activate the muscles. And, I think finding a good balance, then I don't think it's actually bad for you. And I have like my contortion coach, and they're fine, and they're in their 60s, 70s, and they're like normal people. Maybe they have some aches here and there, but that's very individual. Like anybody I feel like can have that too, can be genetic. I don't know, we all don't know sometimes. So, but they seem to be fine. So I think it's not too bad. Yeah.
And how many hours a day do you do practicing?
I would say now that we do shows every day, that becomes part of the training. But yeah, I would train maybe like hour or two a day. But the warm up, the whole process of warm up and going on stage and doing your number, that is also like a training. So that keeps you in shape. You have your cardio. So we're constantly working 6 days a week. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much indeed for that.
Thank you.
My name is Satesi.
And my name is Guillaume Cauchois.
And you're trapezists. Trapezist, is that the correct word? Trapeze artists. And what nationality are you?
I'm from Canada.
And I'm from France.
Ah, okay. And how long have you been working together on the trapeze?
Almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
how long have you been with the Cirque du Soleil?
It's
gonna be 7 years, on and off 7 years. We started in 2012.
That's right.
And then we did 5 years touring non-stop. Then we left the show for 2 years. But within those 2 years, we came back for shorter terms, and now we're back more.
But you work in other circuses around the world?
Yeah.
Where else have you worked?
We worked in Germany. We actually worked in Amsterdam last winter.
Yeah.
Wow, and you're here for 2 months nearly?
I think so, yeah.
So that's a lot of people to find.
Yeah.
It's a lot to find, yeah.
Yes.
So, tell me a little bit about how you started in trapeze. Like I say, in the old days in the circuses, there used to be circus families, and an act used to be handed down. And now there are circus schools all over the world. So how did you get started?
Yeah, in circus school, actually. So I had a friend that was going in Montreal. That's where I'm from. And he invited me to come, and I just fell in love with circus. So I started when I was 15 years old, and I started trapeze actually at 17. So when I started, I was doing a little bit of everything, and then I saw a dual trapeze that really inspired me, which is actually the original duo on this show. And I wanted to do the same, so that's when I picked up dual trapeze.
And when did you start?
I started when I was 6 or 7 because I had a stutter. So my parents put me in circus school to push me to express myself, to pass over.
Trapeze is a good treatment for stuttering.
I guess it worked, yeah.
I don't think many people would try it.
Yeah, no.
Not recommended, but...
Yeah, but so I did circus pretty much all my childhood, and when I was 19, I auditioned to the National Circus School in Montreal, and this is where I met Sarah, and the school took the both of us to work together.
And you've been together ever since?
Yeah.
So it's hard work, isn't it?
It's very hard work. It's 8 to 10 shows a week, so it's fun. People think it's kind of like Disney World, right? But actually, it's a lot of work.
Do you live on site while you're here?
We have hotel apartments. We're not too far. I'm like 20 minutes away, I think.
Yeah.
So
20 minutes walking, so it's not so bad.
Yeah.
And is 6 weeks, 7 weeks normal, or do you do sometimes 2 or 3 weeks?
The minimum is 5.
5 weeks, I think, is a shorter city, and longest city.
3 months.
3 months, but we did 6 months in Tokyo.
Yeah.
But with 1 week off in between. So we did 3 months, 1 week break, and another 3 months.
That's exceptional.
So that was, it's exceptional. That's the longest city we ever done.
How much preparation? Every day do you do, what do you call it, practice or class or whatever, every day? How much time do you spend practice?
Actually, on the trapeze, we don't really train. We train like once a week, I would say. So the rest of it is just preparation, like physical preparation. So he has a big workout.
Like I work out about an hour and a half every day, and then we have like the whole preparation before the show. So like stretching and like TheraBand work and making sure our body's ready to go on stage and to perform.
So you're basically the catcher.
Yes.
And you're the one who...
The flyer.
Flyer, that's exciting. Has he ever dropped you?
It has happened.
Oh dear.
But it's very, very few times.
Do you work with a net?
Huh?
Do you work with a safety net?
We have a mattress, yes.
A mattress?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
and
a lot
how high are you off the ground?
I don't even know.
I don't really know.
I don't think I want to know. I don't know, yeah. I try not to think about it too much, yeah.
But this is not just a mattress that somebody brings in off their bed. This is a special mattress.
It's quite bigger, yeah.
It's made to be for safety, like it's made to be safe in case of falls.
Yeah.
Okay, well I think that will do. Thank you very much indeed.
But thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Well, that was Cirque du Soleil, which continues in The Hague until the 8th of December. You've been listening to Arts Talk Radio, and I'm Michael Hasted. So until the next time, it's goodbye.